Hello, we're heading into the 7th day of April, a Friday, 2017. My name is Derek. Welcome. Let's take a look at silver on the daily and weekly charts. I was talking a lot before about lower highs, lower lows. Well, you made a higher high. You're favored to make a higher low. Check mark. Now it's a matching pierce below this level. However, interesting situation because normally you come down here, I would expect a hit of this level, some sort of correctionary phase, and then maybe break it, but definitely some sort of resistance here. You put a sell order maybe in at 1854, maybe look to short at 1854. It hasn't got there yet, close, but guess what? Oh, I wouldn't take that baby off because pretty much has been resisting it the last few days. Markets can correct either through price or through time. Here's a price correction going down in that manner there. Here's markets correcting through time in this manner. Yet here we have an uptrend. So it's definitely not correcting down. It's basically correcting sideways through time, but it's correcting with the uptrend. Very bullish and nice pattern. Don't see this too often. Do like this as well. Notice Fibonacci here. This is from here to here. And when you get this, you're going to most likely find resistance. Did not happen. No, no, no. Instead, you're going to probably maybe find support. No, not going to happen. Did not even come close to testing support there. So now a move to the next level is what happens. Yeah, usually it's fast. This one wasn't. Keyword usually. That's why I don't say it's going to make a fast move. Just 9 times out of 10 the move will be fast. 1 time out of 10 it'll be slow. That's basically why I say it in that form. And we come into a Friday where I think maybe 7, 8, 9 times in my life I've seen on that day a bullish trend like it is today, that on the Thursday night session, a nice bullish move happens at the weird times. Like any time actually is weird after dinner time, New York, like from the market opens at midnight GMT. The first few hours, they don't usually move the market, that is, but the Thursday nights when we have those days, it does. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a nice move even up to the 1870, 1880 mark as a possibility, even though there's been low volatility because there's so many bullish indicators that is playing within this market. Now the Fibonacci upside from here to here, 19 2/3, it's going to coincide with another one. That one will be from this low and then the highs just before here. So that would be an interesting breakout level. It would take some time to get there, but that would be an ultimate upside target. What I want to do is just focus more on this again, but I want to zoom in on this. I'm going to put it on this left-hand side in here. We'll do that now. There we have it. So there's the uptrend going up. No support. Many higher lows. A higher high, a higher high. Even here I think is a higher high. Higher high, higher high. An uptrend. Hasn't been too volatile, but it has been to such. And any movement breaking this line would give that movement, okay, she's ready to have what might be a green candle of this kind of nature. Maybe a 3% style up day would be something that has a good probability for the card. So when I say good probability, I say to this, what would your normal chances of being up 3% when you're already up 0.75% at this time? Well, it's a lot higher than that normal chance. That's one way of explaining it. Let's move this on to the weekly chart. Market's going down. There's the sideways move. Every single time before, it resisted the band, went lower. Resisted the band, went lower. Didn't resist in the band. Instead, it went sideways for a couple periods. Many consecutive up weeks in a row, 9. resistance established. It took 9 weeks to go from the doldrums of the trend to just establish resistance to try to break it. 2 weeks down, back to the band. Now it looks as if a 4 consecutive up week is going to happen, and it might even be 4 decent sized green candles if I am correct, and it does make a move up to this point and maybe even up to the next key Fibonacci level, which is a pretty big one actually, 1891. This 1976 coincides with the previous one that I was talking about, 19 2/3 to 19 3/4. But the stage, find resistance at this band, come back to support, break resistance, new bull market. That's where it's at now. Looking to break it towards that pattern. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about the cryptos just as far as means to an end. Because the way I'm playing the markets is I think that as of now, silver is going to be pretty much the best investment class there is of all the major ones, because I'm expecting 20 to 30x gains when the fiat banking system comes to a abrupt halt or a halt. And because of how price action has been manipulated and stayed down for quite some time, that means I think a lot of these moves that's going to occur is going to look just like the crypto markets do today, where you have insane moves over short periods of time. Those periods of time I do not think are anytime soon, although possibly could appear later this year into next year. But I think in the short term, the Bitcoin movement could have some good gains, making it up to possibly the 10K US point, maybe even 4 or 5K even, within just many months from now. So I think a lot of the opportunities is to get into, or for myself, I'm getting into Bitcoin, basically trading it to make it go higher, but then using profits within such to get into the silver market, hoping to be able to time the Bitcoin silver markets together so that if I ever do find a situation where I expect Bitcoin to be at a toppy period and silver to be at a period where it's going to be going up, then it's a no-brainer decision. What I like about Bitcoin is I can use a Bitcoin code to actually buy it with it and have in maybe 48 hours silver shipped to my front or back door, really. And that is a very cool thing to have. Now for bankroll management, for me, I would need about 4K CAD because free shipping is 500, plus I don't like buying small orders as it is anyway. So therefore, doing that, I would bring my balance to 3.5. Yeah, not that big of a deal. And then when it goes higher again, liquidate more. But the situation is, if you get to the points where it's just a no-brainer that you have to get silver for Bitcoin, then you would liquidate more than I normally would. But that would be future message of the market. You could try to guess what's going to happen many periods from now. This is going to happen, then that, then that, then that, then that. And that's almost like trying to predict the March Madness bracket and expect you're not going to get it right, because might get the first game, maybe a bunch of them right, but then once you get a couple wrong, the brackets are going to totally look a lot different, same as the charts. I can say, oh, it's going to go here. Let's say it does. And then it's going to come back here. Then it's going to go here. Then it's going to go here. Okay, but if I'm wrong once, then the chart's going to look a little bit different, and the reasons why I think something's going to happen is totally out of play. Okay, thank you for tuning in, and I'll talk to you Friday morning.